Hey, what's up guys? This is Anthony from Anthony's Customs, and for this review, we are looking at the Premium DNA Battletoads Rat Bones figure, and you're going to notice right off the bat, mine's missing its jaw. So, perfect example of why if I have the choice, I order from Big Bad Toy Store. I know they're going to help me out with this. So after this review, I'll send them a picture, I'll say, hey, it's missing, and they'll help me. So, I'm not saying Premium DNA won't do that. I have no idea how their customer service is. So, I mean, that's a gamble if you're going to order directly. That's why I tell you guys always, order from places you know treat you right. And I know Big Bad Toy Store treats me right. They have always been good. And this isn't because I'm working with them. By the way, I work with them because I asked to forever ago because I liked the company that much. So anyway, buy stuff from people you trust as far as customer service goes. And so there's that. But this figure's pretty cool otherwise. And if you get one with a jaw, I think you might like it. So let's go ahead and get it off the stand and take a closer look. Packaging for this guy is standard for the rest of the line. Nice big window. I do like their packaging with the black background. You see the figure front and center. That's good. You get your logo there, name there. Reference images there for the different sizes. Sizes aren't accurate to scale here. These guys are much bigger. This guy's a little bit smaller. This guy's a little bit bigger. Not perfect, but still cool enough. And then you get the references there for the sprites. That's cool. And that's what you get. So there you go. Decent packaging. I like it. Reminiscent of Storm's packaging, and that's good packaging. Alrighty, so this guy stands roughly with his legs bent a little bit, about, we'll call it 7 3/4 inches, and that's going to be, let's say 19.5 centimeters. Here he is up against Darwin, has some significant size to him, and then here he is up against Rash, my favorite of the line so far. He has some size to him, so maybe that comparison image on the packaging is pretty close. He's pretty tall. Alright, so let's do a quick question of the day. Are you guys, if you're into the Battletoads line, are you grabbing the villains too? Or are you just getting the toads? For me, it's such a fun line. I love lines that have different heights, different sizes, different sculpts. I'm kind of all in. And I grew up on Battletoads. Okay, so let's talk about the aesthetic on this guy. There's not a whole lot going on. He is mostly gray plastic with white paint, but it looks good. It's a nice white paint job that actually has a very good kind of bony, that's not the right way of phrasing it, bone-like look. It gives him some texture. It's a nice flat finish. I hate that his jaw isn't there. I was so bummed out when I opened the package. The eyes are painted well enough. Nose is painted well enough. The teeth are painted well enough, though not as cleanly as on the package. It looks good though. I like the white on gray aesthetic. Pretty cool. Looks alright. There's a little bit of tannish brown throughout also to bring him to life. So yeah, I like it. And the sculpt is nice. It looks like what it's supposed to look like. So it's not always easy to do skeletons, though Storm has kind of done a pretty good job about that lately. These guys are similar in engineering to Storm's, and it works. So cool. Aesthetically speaking, not counting the jaw, because obviously that's a one-off sort of deal. Unless everybody's missing a jaw, that would be bad. Aesthetically, I'll give it an 8. It looks pretty darn good for a skeleton of a rat guy. Obviously, if you count the jaw being gone, that's a problem. Alright, now as far as accessories go, all you do is you get the 3 different color shields, which doesn't quite make sense, I guess. Well, I don't know. Because if you're going to use the 3 different shields, you need 3 of this guy, which means you're going to end up with 9 shields. So, I don't know how that works, unless they just figure you just buy 3 and you can use whatever colors you want. I guess that makes the most sense. Yeah, okay, so I guess I'm dumb. That way you can have all brown or all blue or all green if you wanted to. But then you could just buy those if you wanted. I don't know. I don't know if it makes sense or not now that I'm thinking about it to have 3, but you have them and they're done pretty well. They have a nice aesthetic to them. I like the style that Premium DNA is doing. The black wash on top of that with the silver and brown. It has kind of a grungy look, but it's vibrant. I like it. I like it a bunch. But still, that's not much in the way of accessories. Not that you needed a bunch, but still, it's going to be like a 3 out of 10. There's nothing there. Okay, so now it's time for the articulation, which could be horrible or great. Let's take a look. The hinge, or the jaw, is hinged, obviously. I hate that it's not there. I'm tired of dealing with returns and things. But you get a big old ball peg for the top of the neck, which lets the head move around nicely, and you get a ball hinge at the bottom, so he can look forward and back nicely, and if you want to rotate it around, you can. So the head works pretty well. That big ball peg at the top is good. Shoulders have ball hinges. Not the best range because they're hiding the joints more than I would choose to, because you have limited range, but that's personal preference. You get all the joints, all the functionality. I cannot talk now that I'm not sleeping at all. Oh man. Anyway, it works well enough. Elbow is the same type of joint. Everything is a little ball hinge on this guy, so you don't get a ton of range, but you're going to get enough. And then same thing for the wrists. So it's okay. You do get one down here at the bottom of the neck, like I mentioned. You get one here and one here. So throughout the spine from the pelvis up, you have 3 different ones, including the neck one. So you get actually pretty good range out of this guy if you're willing to finagle him and move him around. So that's pretty cool. I think a lot of people want to rotate a pelvis farther back than it should be. It should be facing fairly open forward. So that would help you with your abdominal range. If you try to lean it back like this, that's not how it's supposed to look. So anyway, you have that, and then you have another one here and another one here at the tail. There's a little bit of sculpting to the tail, which, I could take it or leave it. I don't personally prefer sculpted tails, as we've talked about with articulation. But in this case, since you only have the 2 joints, I guess it's okay. You'd have to have a bunch of joints to make that any better, really. So, it's whatever. And then for the hips, it's the same joints, ball hinge, pretty good range all the way around. There's like little spots of looseness, but overall it's not loose, so that's nice. Same thing for the knees, good range. Good enough range. And then for the ankles, pretty good. The bad thing about the ankles is the way they brought the tibia down, it blocks the range for the ankle rocker, so you can't get much of an ankle rocker going on. But otherwise, it poses pretty well. For being a skeleton, it looks good, it poses well. I'll take it. Articulation, I'll give it a 7. It's perfectly acceptable for a skeleton dude. And so, time for the final verdict. Obviously, if it had the jaw, I would be happier. I'm not going to count that. Without the jaw, it's like a 0, because obviously that's a problem, but I don't think that's going to be a widespread issue. I'm guessing it's not. Just like when Forge had 2 right hands, I don't think anybody else had that problem. So anyway, I'm going to give it an overall rating of, I think 8. It looks pretty good. It poses well. It's got some size to it. I like it. Let me know what you guys think. It's a pretty cool little skeleton figure. And it's not so weird that you couldn't mix it in with other lines if you wanted to. You wouldn't. There's different style if you're going to go for like Battletoads and Hasbro, for instance. I don't know that these 2 blend together very well on a shelf. But since this is just a skeleton, you could probably fit it into other lines, especially something like Golden Axe or other, what do they call those? Like medieval fantasy things, like Mythic Legions or something like that. You probably could. But yeah, it's a cool figure. Not perfect, but good enough. I'm happy I have it. And I'm positive Big Bad Toy Store is going to help me out with that jaw. But we'll see. So there it is, guys. Let me know what you think in the comment section below, but I think it's pretty good. So thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please do give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down. And if you haven't subscribed, you should. I have new videos every day but Wednesday, and thousands already on the channel. So make sure you come back for all of that. And in the meantime, keep collecting.